Hello, Professor Toybox here, and I'm with Alice in Disneyland. That sounds weird, doesn't it? Not Alice in Wonderland, Alice in Disneyland. Anyway, today I'm going to finish up my Main Street USA toy box. But before I do that, I want to let you know what's coming next. I know some of you want me to keep going with Disneyland, but Disneyland is going to be another long series, and having just finished Aladdin, I don't think I can do another long series without some frequent breaks. My Aladdin adventure had 5 toy boxes. Disneyland has 10. So what I'm going to do is put Disneyland aside for a bit so I can do my next series. Then once that series is done, I'll come back and build the next area of the park, then take a break and do another series, and then come back and build another area of the park, and so on. And what that means is this will be my last Disneyland episode until January. However, I'm going to let you guys choose what area of the park I build next. I'm doing this Disneyland series because many of you have asked for it, so I'm going to let you decide the order in which I build it. So after you've watched this episode, you can go back to my blog and vote. What area of the park do you want me to build next? Adventureland, Fantasyland, Frontierland, or Tomorrowland? Don't put your vote in the comments, because I'm not going to look at that and try to tally your comments. Go to my blog. I've got a special post there containing a poll. There's a link to it in the video description, but go there and vote. You've got the rest of the year to vote, and when my next series is done and we come back to Disneyland in January, I'll build the area that gets the most votes. Now in the meantime, I'm going to be doing another series, but we also have the Thanksgiving holiday coming up here in the United States. So here's the schedule for the next few weeks. This week, I've got a special video I'm going to post on Wednesday, and then the next episode of Toy Box Tutorials will air Friday as usual. Then next week, I'm only going to post one video, because I'm going to take 2 weeks off for the Thanksgiving holiday. So on Monday, a week from today, I'll post a 2-minute preview of my next series, and then I'm off for 2 weeks. My new series will start when I get back, which will be on Monday, December 7th, but you'll get a preview of it a week from today. Got it? Okay, now that I got all that out of the way, let's wrap up my Main Street USA toy box. Okay, the first thing I want to do today is implement the Collectible Quest. If you remember my playthrough in Episode 1, I scattered a bunch of ice cream cones around the park, and if the player finds them all, they earn a random pack or tool that they can take with them as they explore Disneyland. Now, you can place these ice cream cones directly into your toy box, just like I'm going to do right now to save time. But if you want to place them randomly around your toy box, you can go check out Toy Box Tutorials number 59 or Random Dungeons episode number 10, and that'll show you how to scatter collectibles around in random locations. But for today, I'm just going to place these here in a few spots, and I'll put them in the same spots where I had them in my original playthrough video back in episode number 1. And one there. I tucked one back over here. I had one tucked back over here. So you can get really devious with these things. But again, just like the Mickeys, there's a few places you want to be careful not to put these. Don't put them beyond the archway here or beyond this gate, because these areas are not going to be accessible to the player, and you'll see that when we get further along and we put the entrances to each park. And same with the monorail line over there and the tunnel here, because those things are going to lead to the other areas of the park. But yeah, you can stick these up in a number of different places. Tuck them out of the way if you like. Stick one under there, and that's good enough. Alright. So the next thing we'll do is I'll show you the creativity toys that I've got placed, and there's only 2 of them. I've got a target camera set up over here, and I've got a collectible tracker over here. And I'm going to reuse some of the toys that we had last time. So we'll start with the Collectible Tracker. And we'll come into the properties for that. And for the collectible type, I'm using the ice cream cone. So we'll come down and look for that. There it is. And I'm going to leave the show on radar off because I think it makes it a little bit more of a fun quest. But depending on how you hide your collectibles, you can turn that on or off. It's up to you. But I'm going to leave that off. All right, and then we'll come over and configure the target camera because the prize is going to be awarded in the same place as it was for the hidden Mickeys. The problem is the player's not standing over here tossing Mickeys through here. They're wherever the last collectible happens to be, which is nowhere near this area. So I'm going to use the camera to show them where they can go to get their prize. And so for the properties on the target camera, well, first of all, let's connect it up to the locator over here. I'll reuse that locator where the prize will appear. That will be our camera target. And then for the properties, we'll leave the start transition set to cut. I'm going to use a defined duration of 5 seconds. These are fine. The player viewport, I'll set this to be the local shared viewport. Glow through is off. The camera target will be the connected locator. And the rest of these are all fine. Okay, so the collection quest is pretty simple. We placed our collectibles around. If you use the random technique from those other videos, then there's a little bit more to it, but those videos will show you what you need to do. But once you have all the collectibles down, either way you decide to do it, the next piece is all driven by the Collectible Tracker. And so on the Collectible Tracker, we'll do a new logic connection. When the final collectible is collected, we want to come over here and award the player their toy. And I'm going to give them a random pack or tool. And also on the Collectible Tracker, a new logic connection when the final collectible is collected. Come over to our target camera and activate it. And that will show them where they can go to get their prize. And the last thing we'll do on the Collectible Tracker is a new logic connection. When the final collectible is collected, come up to our sound generator. And I'm going to play my little flourish when they finish a side quest, which is the musical Fanfare. And now normally I would also have them celebrate by activating the action enforcer. So I'd make a logic connection from here to there, but since that target camera is going to be activating, the player will never see that anyway. The player's character will be celebrating during that 5 seconds. We're looking over here with the target camera, so there's really no point in using the action enforcer. And so that's it. It's a very simple little side quest. You just go and pick up those collectibles, and when you're done, you get your toy. So that's pretty easy. The next thing I'd like to do is I'm going to set up a little I want to set up a fun little interaction with this churro cart. And so we're going to come up to the Creativitoys. And I'm looking for the trigger area. Here we are. And we'll put this down about like that. So if you remember the playthrough video, when the player approached the churro cart, their character's face got all bloated. And so this is how I did that. So I create a little target trigger area here around the churro cart. And then we do a new logic connection when entered by player any. We come over to the action enforcer. And we're going to do bloat just the triggering player. And so now, as you'll see in just a moment, when we walk up to that churro cart, her face gets all bloated. So it's just kind of a goofy little interaction. I kind of thought it was funny. I've seen that in some of the very early Disney Infinity videos and hadn't seen it done much since, but I kind of like that. And she stays that way for a little while. Not too long, though. And with that, my Main Street USA toy box is pretty much done. All we have left to do is hook up the toy box doors to the other areas of the park, but we'll start working on that next time. Be sure to visit my blog and vote for the area of the park that you want me to build next. The link again is in the video description, or you can just go to the website address on your screen, scroll down and click on the Disneyland category on the right. Voting will be open through the rest of the year, through 2020. So that's all for me today. Take care.